Good evening all, welcome to another video on All Hail the Ale. We are now going for blend number 2 from the Tiny Rebel 8th birthday box, and this one is the one that I thought maybe I'd leave to the end or maybe I'd start with, but no, I've thrown it in the middle just because. For no real reason other than lagers and sours are not my favourite particular beers. So yeah, this could be interesting. It could go either way. I could either really enjoy it or it could go horribly wrong. But the reason I'm slightly optimistic is because it's got flavours that I love. We're starting out with a beer that's full of alliteration. It's the Screwface Sicilian Lemon Super Soaker Sour, and it weighs in at 4.2% and obviously is a sour beer. Got the usual ingredients of water, malted barley, malted wheat, hops, Sicilian lemon puree and yeast. So we've got real lemons in this one, ladies and gents, and its combination beer is this one. It is the Fizzy Bubbly Key Lime Lager, and on the back it says blah 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 limes, and the ingredients are water, malted barley, lime puree, hops and yeast. Really simple, hopefully effective. So yeah, there we are, and this one weighs in at 4.8%, and we're going to do exactly the same as last time. From blend 1, we're going to have a bit of beer 1 in one glass, beer 2 in another, and then we'll combine and see what we think. Based on blend 1, I preferred the constituent beers on their own. Remains to be seen for this one. So we are going to start by pouring the Screwface into the 8th birthday glass, and the Fizzy Bubbly is going to go into the 7th birthday glass. And we'll see what we think. So Screwface being a sour, I don't expect a huge amount of head, and we're only going to pour a bit. There we are, that is crazy pale. Ridiculously pale. Really, it's got a decent bit of carbonation and more head than I was expecting for a sour. A little tiny bit of haze, not a lot, let's have a whiff. I can smell the sourness, you know, that wild yeast. It's got that particular aroma about it. Not a huge amount of lemon though on the nose. Give it a old swirl. Yeah, maybe a little bit. Let's have a little taste. Whoa, that one, it's nice and sharp. I like that. When I got a sour, it's got to have something about it, and lemon is always sour, so it's a familiar thing, and it works. You know, it's not quite pull your ass up to your elbows, but it's enough to give you that little bit of feeling at the back of your tongue and the back of your jaw muscles that just kind of everything just clenches up a little bit. Nice, lip smackingly good. Light on body, as expected. Sharp, lemony. Really dry as well. It's kind of a good palate cleanser. So far, so good. This is probably one of my favourite sours to date, because it does exactly what it says on the tin. It's lemony and it's sour, and it actually makes you screw your face up a little bit. So, props there. And then we're going to have a bit of the old Fizzy Bubbly, the Key Lime Lager in the 7th birthday glass. And it's fairly lively. I expect the pour to be pale, being lager, and it is. It's got a bit more colour than the lemon sour. Crystal clear, like any good lager should be. No real head. Maybe, yeah, okay. It's got a reasonable head in it. Decent bit of carbonation. Looks all right. Let's have a whiff. See if we can get some lime from this one. Oh, you do. You do. You get a nice bit of lime, and I'm hoping for like a biscuit malt in this one. They've not given anything away on the ingredient list, but if you can get that nice biscuity malt to really bring the key lime thing together, that'll be a winner. So let's have a taste. Cheers. It's lager and lime. It's a typical lager with that lime addition, tiny bit of sourness, I can see why people would love this. It's the sort of thing my missus would love in the summer. Hell, I can see lots of people enjoying this in the summer. It's got a decent mouthfeel to it as well. It's really smooth and velvety, which for a lager is surprising. The malts come through at the end. Because the lime is right at the forefront of the flavour profile, and it's almost like a little bit bitter as well, which is pleasant. You know, I can see that you've got the bitterness of this one, the sweet, sour, sharp, lemony goodness of the other one. I can see how they would work. Really, really nice as lagers go. Like I say, very unexpected amount of body and mouthfeel on that. It's really smooth, almost like porter, like that silky smooth on that lager. Very unexpected, very pleasant surprise. And that's coming from me, and I don't like lager, he says. Maybe my tastes are changing. Maybe some good lagers actually are worth having. So it's now time for a bit of a blend and see if we get exactly what was being aimed for. So we're going to go to blend in the 8th birthday glass, and we're going to pour the Screwface first. We're not going to go heavy volume. So we're going to go for about 50-50 of the lager, and we're going to about there. So you kind of get a little bit of colour from the lager. You get, there's some nice carbonation. Obviously it's acid etched in the bottom. You've got your little tiny Rebel Bear, so the carbonation is kind of being drawn out of the beer and into the head, and it looks more like a lager than anything else. I suppose that's no bad thing. Now the key to this one, as I found with many of my unintended collaborations, this one is very much intended by the brewer, is that you have to adjust the ratios in favour of one beer or the other. So I went 50-50 yesterday, and I've gone the same here today. And I might just tweak it a little bit, add a little bit more of one or the other, depends on the first mouthful. So, bottoms up. The Sicilian Lemon Super Soaker Sour is prominent. Having the key lime in there, it kind of dulls some of that sourness, but overall it works. You know, you've got that lemon and lime working together, that titanic combination of citrus powerhouses. It works well, and for summer this would be great. You know, it's a sensible ABV, like say 4.2. Was it 4.2? Yeah, 4.2 for the sour, 4.8 for the key lime lager. So you're sitting somewhere in the middle of about 4.5 if you blended them 50-50. You know, it's a sensible, tasty summer beer. I like that. It brings out the best of both. What I would like though is a bit more of a biscuity malt, just to kind of balance the whole thing out, give it a little bit of some creamy on the finish, just to bring a whole key lemon and lime pie all in one good glass. That'd be really nice. It's a shame I haven't got anything of that nature just to sort of throw in and just do something really left field. Maybe, I'll tell you what would have worked with this is the coconut and vanilla cream, the Not So Fast Round Boy. That really would have worked and added a little something special to this one. Maybe I'll have to order another box and do a whole Dr. Frankenstein series. Anyway. So, what do I think? What do I think of the blend, first of all? I like the blend. It works well. You've got lemon, you've got lime over a crisp, light, summery base of lager and sour beers. It works really well, and I like it a lot as it stands. The Screwface Sicilian Lemon Super Soaker Sour, the beer of alliteration. It's absolutely lovely. You know, I'm not a huge sour fan, and when I have one, I want it to do what it says on the tin, and it does. It is super sour. It is a lemony, and it delivers perfectly. You know, it's not particularly hoppy. I don't expect it to be. It's sour. but it is very, very lemony, and I like that a lot. So, would I buy it again? Yeah, I would. I'd buy the box for this alone. Would I rush out and buy it? I would. Absolutely. I don't say that often about sours, but this has got everything I like about a sour beer. It's got flavours I expect to be sour, and it delivers in bucket loads as well. So, Screwface, I'm going to give you... Can I find any reason not to give you full marks? No, I can't. So as sours go, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5, you know, because it's top notch. Lemony, sour, and like Ronseal does exactly what it says on the tin. Fizzy bubbly key lime lager. What do I think of you? I was mighty impressed with that mouthfeel, that silky smooth, sort of like lactose porter. It's that kind of smooth. Brilliant, and to get that from a lager is impressive as hell. I like the the limey sort of flavour as well. It's a little bit bitter, so it's like the zest with a bit of the pith thrown in. It works really well. And again, as lagers go, I cannot really fault it in any way. It's not one I drink a huge amount of because I prefer my beers to taste more like beer. And indeed, when I have a lager, I want to taste those crisp Pilsner malts. Excusez-moi. But in this instance, for this particular combination, you know, it works really well. Would I buy it again? I would, absolutely, if for no other reason other than to make this blend. Would I rush out and buy it again? Again, that same point stands. I would rush out and buy it again to make this very special blend of two beers. Works really well for me. I can't quite give it the same mark as a super sour, but it ain't far behind. So I'm going to give the old Fizzy Bubbly on its own 4.5 out of 5 on the old Untapped score sheet, which I think is fantastic for as lagers go. Which, if you use your mathematical side of your brain and add the two together, you end up with an overall blend score of 4.75 out of 5 on the old Untapped sheet. So far, this has been my favourite blend of the two, because it's one I would actually go and blend again. I would buy another box just to blend this again. And it surprised me, you know, I'm not a big sour fan and I'm not a big lover of lager. Yet these two are great, and more power to them. So, without too much further ado, I'm going to say to you, these have been the beers. Down the bottom are some buttons. You've got to like, dislike, comment and subscribe. Hit whichever combination of them you wish. Let me know if you've tried these beers, and let me know which is your favourite so far as well. So there we are. I'm going to go and enjoy the rest of this one. I'm going to go and get this video up on the tube of you so you can all enjoy and, yeah, do what you want to do. Cheers, guys.